What is up, my friends? Today we are playing a little game called Soulstone Survivors. Now, it's been a little while. If you missed the last video, I have recently had a kid, so it has been a lot harder to make videos, but Christmas sale happened, and this was one of the standout titles I got. It's been on my wish list for a long time. I finally caved. I got it. It's like 10 bucks. It was on sale for like $7.50, and I'm really enjoying it. It's awesome. It is early access if you have issues with early access games, but I'd say it's a pretty complete game so far. They're just adding polish and new content and stuff. So what kind of game is this? Now, I might lose some of you here, but I do ask you, stick with me. This is a game that spins off of the Vampire Survivors genre, and you know, that's not a genre for everybody. It lacks a lot of player agency. This game has a lot of that player agency that's lacking from some of those derivative sort of titles. I'd say it really has its own identity in the sphere, if you will. And so I've been playing it, really enjoying it, and I wanted to surprise you guys with a little bit of a Christmas present, put a video out for you. So what's the deal? What's the goal of the game, right? So you have your different characters. I don't have all of them unlocked. Again, I just got this the other day. But I do have some of them unlocked. They level up. As you level them up, you get access to different abilities and different weapons. I don't want to go too in the weeds here and get you all overwhelmed, but there's a lot of player agency in these weapons. So first off, each character plays pretty differently because they have a different skill list. Now these skill lists, they overlap in certain ways with other characters. So for instance, Chain Lightning here is a skill that you're going to find on the Elementalist here, because you're going to see a lot of magical abilities. These ice abilities you're going to see on, I want to say, the Arcane Weaver. Yeah, you've got some ice abilities. You'll notice there's no like sword-based abilities here, or like, you know, there's not really a lot of holy abilities. Those are going to be on your Paladin. So there is overlap, which is interesting. It's almost like having a deck of cards for each character of the abilities you can choose from. And then on top of that, you have your unique starting abilities, which are weapon-based, and so they have different benefits and drawbacks. For instance, here we've got a bleed kit with the second weapon. The first weapon is kind of this stun and fragility spin sort of kit, kind of a big screen-wide sort of deal. Now, I don't have any further weapons unlocked on certain characters here. I believe the highest I have is tier 2. I have tier 3 access on the Barbarian here. You can see I'm level 43. I've played a lot with this one. And you can see, if we were to switch to the Barbarian here, I don't quite have the resources to unlock this yet. You get resources just from playing. There's no microtransaction garbage sort of stuff in this. It is all just grinding and having fun. And you can see this would give me some different abilities that I could start with instead. So there's this element of building your character and your deck, and we'll get more into the deck thing in a minute here, before you even go into the run. There's still a lot of RNG. It's still very RNG heavy, but that difference is pretty important, I think, when it comes to this genre where, I don't know, again, there's not a lot of player agency. So then on this page we have runes. Runes are interesting. You have these top 3 and these bottom 3. Then you have different loadouts. And the way these work is these first ones are kind of like, it took me a second to figure this out. These first ones aren't ones you can click. They're sort of like its theme. So these are like defensive abilities. These are like attack-based abilities, I would say. And then up here, you have these skill mastery ones. And this is where it really opens up, in my opinion. So let's say we want to, first let's remove these and start with a clean slate here, and I can show you kind of the deal. So let's say we have our character selected. We have, I'm not sure who I want to play as. I think I'm going to play as the Barbarian because he's my favorite so far. So we have the Barbarian selected. We go over here to our runes, and we have 3 slots. You can upgrade these on the skill tree. We'll worry about that later. And we'll come over here to skill mastery. We have all these other ones unlocked. And you unlock these by just winning with the unlocked characters you have in under 12 minutes. The game's very straightforward in what you need to do to unlock things. So if I want to unlock the Chaos abilities, I have to use the Chaos Walker, who I don't have, and win the game in under 12 minutes. That's another thing I like about this, is Vampire Survivors and stuff. Great stuff, don't get me wrong, but the 30-minute runs are really long. The goal of this one is to finish the run as fast as you can, but you can keep playing, and that's something else I appreciate. You could just keep going and going until you lose. Okay, so let's say we're playing as our barbarian, and we want to do some magic sort of stuff. We could come over here to the fire tree, and we could pick 5, up to 5, it doesn't have to be 5, fire abilities, hit confirm, and now we've added these to our quote-unquote deck. And so there's some extra agency here that you really don't see. And you could do this again with Holy, you could add like bomb abilities, blast abilities, arrows if you wanted. And I think the ability to actually build your character's deck is really, really cool and kind of novel in this genre. So I'm going to activate, I don't want that one. I'm going to activate this ability here. This one does not use a slot or like one of my runes. And you start the game with the special weapon skill for your currently selected weapon. So with our characters here, primary skill, secondary skill. We start with both. Really important and valuable rune to have. I don't know how it was unlocked, but I did unlock it. You'll have to unlock it. And then let's see, what do we have here? A crit-based one. Dash length, I really like that one. And I like sure-footed, 15% less damage from all sources, and less pushback. Pretty good abilities there. Alright. And then here we have our skill tree. Now, you'll see it's huge. What this is once you unlock all the nodes on here, these, I got my buddy into this game too, and he's played it a lot more than me. These unlock, and these are going to be your skill trees for your certain characters, and they have bonus abilities and stuff. Eventually you'll have all these. I don't have that quite unlocked yet. I would love to show you, but I just don't know what's behind it. But I do know they each kind of have unique abilities that they can focus down in on. And then you've got your achievements page, which is, all your different achievements, certain challenges and stuff. I really like this sort of stuff. It gives you a reason to just keep playing. And these are linked to the Steam achievements. And then you'll notice I have these Soulstones up top. These are what you use to populate these skill tree things. So I need one more green one to get the next rune, which would give me an extra point here. And it all really ties together in an interesting way. So I want to get this battle axe, these upgraded battle axes. I need tin and I need platinum. And so let's look at I still had the Houndmaster selected. Give me one moment. Alright, and I believe it was these two I was going with. I don't usually play this with a mouse. I play this on my Steam Deck. It runs great on the Steam Deck. You might need to turn the graphics down a tiny bit, but it runs great. Okay, so here's our maps. And I kind of threw you into the deep end here with having all of this on. Let's turn this off for a second. It shows you how far you've completed each one on this, like sort of scale here. You can see one of these I've completed up to 4. One of these I've only completed up to 3. This one, it looks like... Yeah, it looks like I've completed up to 3 on all of them. This one I've completed 3. And turning these curses on, they make the game a lot harder. They increase your rewards, and at certain tiers, they increase your drops, like that. See? So that's pretty cool. That's how you get your resources for your weapons and stuff. So we're going to do... We'll do a tier 3 of this. Now, if you're just starting out, you're going to be a little slower, a little easier, and that's okay. It's a little slow to start, I will say that. But once you start getting into it, it gets pretty difficult. So here we are our barbarian. You'll see we have our abilities at the bottom, and they go off automatically. Again, very vampire survivors in that way. And then we have a dash, which is our spacebar. You can see those remaining dashes under our character. And then we have 2 revives. Those are a skill tree thing I've had to unlock. And we're just going to level up as quickly as we can and try and make some good decisions. We have rerolls. We can reroll all 3. We can banish certain ones, lock others, and they each have a rarity to roll. So let's go with... I'm going to go with cast frequency. That'll make us continue to attack faster, 20% in this case, and that's pretty good. Sometimes you will be sacrificing the better tier draw for something more important, but not usually, I want to say. All right, and then we've got a new weapon. So let's see, what do we have here? We can pick lightning bolt, and you can see how many types. Each of these have a type. You can see how many types they share down here at the bottom. This shares 2 types with our first attack and 3 with the second, so probably, what, physical, frontal, and area. And that's really important because you saw on our previous level up, we increased the attack speed. Certain cards like that will increase specific types of abilities and augment certain types. So maybe you have ones that only hit poison type attacks, and having similar typed or type sharing attacks benefits in that regard, but it can also limit you because, you know, now you're only doing, let's say, poison again instead of different types of attacks. So we went with Minefield, laying mines behind us. I think that's a fun one. It's probably not our best choice, but I think it's a fun one. Alright. And we're about to level up again. A bunch of health. Better crit chance. We're going to go with the health. Health is pretty good on our dude. I mean, health is good on anybody. It's health. You know what I mean? And if you were to just start this right now, you'll see a lot less stuff going on because of all the curses we have on that make the run specifically a little harder. Let's go with poison. Just talking about it. 30% chance all of our attacks poison. That stacks up on the health bars and really helps. Shadow Orb. I don't know if I've actually used this before. Fires a projectile in all directions, causing curse. You know what? I want it on my list, so we'll go for it. And your certain attacks are aimed, so there's an element of aiming as well. Armor or crit chance? Let's go crit chance. And area of effect for whirlwind. You will eventually, depending on how well you're doing, end up with like a full screen. Ooh, chain lightning. Oh, it doesn't share a lot of types. But I love chain lightning. We're gonna reroll. Explosive trap, huh? Or bomb barrage. We'll do explosive trap. Nice. Okay, sorry. I lost my train of thought a bit there. Certain attacks are aimed, is what I was getting at, I believe. So, for instance, my Shadow Orb, it's going to fire off where I'm aiming. Whenever you apply Doom or Cursed, you apply Dazed as well. Well, we have an ability that applies Cursed, so let's grab it. And then area of effect for Explosive Trap, damage increase for Stomp, or lower our speed but increase our damage. I'm not really liking either of these. Let's do Stomp, I suppose. And then, again, the goal is to beat the round as fast as possible. And so building your deck in a way where you're getting the abilities you want as they pop up. You know, we're at 2 minutes right now. And we need to kill 400 enemies to summon the first bosses. If you were playing on an easier difficulty, you're going to be summoning one boss and at a time 5 times, and then you've won. We're on a harder difficulty, we get 2 bosses at a time, but it's still just 5 times. Attack speed on our mines. And we want to dodge, obviously we want to dodge those red rings. Alright, 2 bosses here. Alright, we got hit for 4, not too bad. I believe we took armor early. No, we skipped armor. Nice. Alright, and so here's another interesting element to it. We're full on abilities. We always have the option, not always, but every couple rolls, we have the option to replace these abilities. And it doesn't make you like randomly pick one. You can choose which one you replace. Let's say I want Demolish here. I can choose which one I want to replace. I don't want Demolish, but if I don't want one of these, I can just get passives instead. And so there's, again, a nice element of player agency there that isn't there with something, a lot of similar designed games that kind of take that inspiration from the Survivors genre. Okay. Applying fragility. Do I have anything that applies? Yes, I do. We'll go with it. These are some pretty tanky bosses on the difficulty we're on. That's to be expected. If you have a good build going, you can melt these guys in under a second. It's insane. It's really fun. It's really fun to see. We don't need any of these. Critical strikes apply bleed. Damage increase for our explosive abilities. That's what I was talking about, see? Explosive abilities. Or just more frequent. Okay, let's see. Does anything even crit very high? Do we have crit at all? We haven't really grabbed anything crit related, but having bleed would be nice. Let's do bleed crit ability, and then next time we see crit pop up, we'll try and grab it. And the bosses have different patterns. So when I mentioned this game being early access, there is, it said in a very recent community update, they plan to add more bosses, different game modes. Very exciting sounding stuff. I'm really enjoying the game as is. Maybe I should replace one of these with like cluster bomb or something. Maybe I should go more bomb. I don't know. I don't feel like this is doing very much, and it's level 1. Let's replace... Alright. And then, you might have missed it. We're doing area of effect abilities. You might have missed it. I picked up the red Soulstone dropped from the boss. They always drop in an order. Also, some of your abilities, they're going to be passives, like this, which are pretty cool. Temporarily increase your cast frequency based on how many stacks of bleed are present on nearby enemies. Or increase your movement and cast frequency of you and nearby allies. And those will stack up the same way as all your other abilities. Okay. Alright, we're leaning into explosives this round. Damage increase on minefield. Yes, please. Okay, and there's our red Soulstone. If we grab that, it pulls in all of the... First, okay. It pulls in all of the XP around and gives it to us all at once. That's why we leveled up there so quickly. Alright. And again, the resources on the map, you're going to find those kind of scattered about. Like here's our 10, I think it was. You can see we got it there. And we need a couple hundred of that. You're going to get more the higher difficulty you're playing on for our next level of axes. Okay, attack speed on minefield, crit damage. Let's do crit damage. Ooh, alright, our bosses are here. Okay, area mod or damage. I'm gonna go for damage, because I am not feeling happy with our damage output. And then, whenever you apply poison... All of our attacks do apply poison. and it adds Doom. So, you know what? And when we apply Doom, we have the extra benefit of whatever that one we picked up earlier was. So you can see how things stack in a really interesting way. We're gonna do slowing. Oof, ran through poison. Did not like that. That was a lot of damage for us. Magnet, this is going to be our area of effect for experience pickup and a percentage increase in how well that experience works. We are doing pretty rough here, honestly. Fragility and weakness. Don't we have something that augments both of those? Let's see. When you apply... Okay, let's replace our Stomp with this Bomb Barrage. Because we have some abilities that will affect that. And I think it will do a little better for us to have that. Woo. Alright, and we're only on the second level of bosses here. We're going to do a reroll. I'll take armor. Oof. Poison chance or poison chance? Absolutely. And you can see the Doom stacks on their health bar. That's an option you can turn on. That is not on by default. Cluster bomb boost. And eventually you're going to be casting things so fast that it's kind of hard to follow, admittedly. And the gameplay does get pretty fast and intense. It's one of those where when you're playing casually, you're feeling unstoppable, right? And it's really fun. And then if you continue to loop through, it's going to get really, really hard. And that's also fun. And so it's kind of got, the different options for how you want to play it too, which I like. But you're not stuck necessarily playing it for, 30 minutes, an hour. You have that choice. We're gonna reroll. Ooh, still nothing quite. Alright. I'm not gonna waste my last reroll. And I should probably be using locking and stuff more, but I don't know. I haven't been doing that. 100% chance to deal a crit on enemies with full health. We'll take it. That sounds pretty strong. Especially if a bomb just happens to land on somebody. And you can see we're dealing with like more advanced enemy types. Pickup speed or distance coming in, very helpful. Alright, we're about 3 enemies away from the next set of bosses here. Oh boy. Alright. Let's see. Area. And you gotta be careful, because you can lose sight of, like, where the walls are, get pinned, and then you're done for. We do have 2 revives. We have not used either one of those for what it's worth. I don't think that'll last too long, honestly. But, and you can spawn, if you kill the enemies required, but you can't manage to kill the bosses, you can spawn a second set of bosses. And, or a second boss if you're playing on an easier one, or like a second triplet of bosses if you're playing on an even harder one. And that is hard to deal with. Okay. We're gonna reroll. Nope. Okay, we're going to do the Venom. A little extra poison chance will help, especially against the bosses, hopefully. Uh-oh. Ooh, okay. Very lucky to have made it out of that corner. That's what I was just talking about with those walls. But we're doing pretty solid damage against the boss. One of them. Not both. I have a hard time getting in on the ice guy. And you will learn their patterns. That's another thing that's nice, is they have pretty understandable movesets and patterns. He leaves these big spikes around. Alright, cluster bombs. Alright, that's our good one, so we're going to just keep powering it up. That's the question, right? Is it better to power... Ooh. Is it better to just keep powering up one? Or power up all of them evenly? This is bad. This is exactly what I was hoping would not happen. But we're doing okay. We're actually doing better than I expected. Okay. We can boost that up. Or buff Shadow Orb. Honestly, I don't think Shadow Orb is doing a lot for us. Alright, here we go. We're getting there. Gonna go the long way around and hope for the best. Alright, he's almost down. The one guy. Nice. Okay, if we can get in there... I missed it. Uh-oh. Okay. I got it. I was hoping it would give us a better level up than that. Okay. 3 more bosses, and we're not too far off from the last set, unfortunately. Actually, wait. Yeah, okay, last set. That would be the last set. Oh, the fire guy is very annoying, especially paired with the ice guy. This is not good. See the beam of fire? Very hard to avoid. Okay, what do we got? Multicast, absolutely. It's hard to even find your cursor sometimes. It's a lot easier with a joystick, I will say that. Alright, we got another one down. I see his crystal in there, his Soulstone. I don't know if it's safe to go in and get. Something else worth mentioning is these guys are coming out with a roguelike sort of game, themed similarly, built on similar principles to this. Very excited to see. Rogue Soulstone, I think is the name. It's not even in like early access yet. I'm very excited to see about that. Very excited. I think it's going to be awesome looking. Well, I mean, I've seen like the screenshots and it is awesome looking. I think it's going to be awesome to play. But yeah, absolutely impressed with the transformations to the genre that this game kind of incorporates, making a lot more player agency and choice matter. While we finish these guys off, let's see, what's an update? What's some other stuff? Well, because I haven't been able to stream either lately. Picked up God of War in the sale for like $25, the 2018 one. So good. So good. Absolutely blown away by that. I'm not a big AAA game player. If you've seen my other content, you would know that. I picked it up, and I was like, man, this game is so good. I'm amazed it didn't win Game of the Year. What won Game of the Year that year? Anyway, it was God of War. It won Game of the Year that year. It earned it. This game is awesome. Alright, we've got one death on the table. Ugh. Not great. Okay, let's do speed. Get out of trouble a little easier, maybe. If we keep circling, we should be good. But I'm not super convinced of that. Alright. What else? Warframe. I am a massive Warframe fan, and I started on the Nintendo Switch. My stuff has been locked there for like 3 years now since I stopped playing. And we finally got cross-save. Not cross-play, mind you, but cross-save, and I got in on that. And it's just so cool to have my account back. I am very excited. I want to play some Warframe stuff for you guys and show you guys that game if you aren't familiar with it. It's kind of Destiny-like. It's like an MMO, but it's pretty different from Destiny in my opinion. And I love it. But I'm having some issues with my username right now, and so I have some, because of the cross-save stuff, so I have a ticket into support, and hopefully they get back to me, and we're experiencing a bit of lag, by the way. Hopefully they get back to me, and I can play some of that for you guys, too. Because I would love to show you guys Warframe. All my stuff on there. Got a bunch of stuff. It's nice to just see it all again, and see how terrible some of my color combination options were on the customization. Terrible. They look terrible. Some of them are pretty cool, but some of them are terrible. Alright, we're down to 2. There ought to be another, yeah, there's another green one over here that I missed. Ooh, that's a lot of poison. Okay, cast frequency, good. We might actually win this. We might whittle these guys down just enough. I don't like this build. It's really slow, and it's kind of based around strafing in a way that I think is boring. So I'm sorry that this has been a little bit of a boring build for you guys to probably watch. But this game is... I missed a better one because I wasn't paying enough attention. This game is really good for just like kind of mindlessly playing while you watch some YouTube and stuff. And it's fun to theory craft games like this, thinking, what's the best combination of cards I can put on this dude? I use cards loosely in air quotes. What's the best combination of abilities I can put on this guy so that if I get them, I'm doing, like, insane numbers. These numbers are nothing. 10,000? That's very small. I had, like, a poison build earlier. They got 3 loops in, because you can loop. I'll explain that at the end of our run here, hopefully. 3 loops in, and I was doing, like, 80,000 every, like, let's say 2 seconds to enemies. It was insane. And I got one shot by a boss, because, you know, of course that's what happens. But very, very fun and diverse ways to do your build here. Ooh. Alright. I'm hoping to take these guys out here. Who's lower? The Plague Bearer? Well, I'd like to focus on him anyway because I'm sick of these poison puddles. I guess they're kind of mostly equal now at this point. There he is. Okay, that's a pretty good damage. I really need to just kind of suck it up and go through the middle, but I'm very worried about the results of doing that. Because I have one more revive, and... oof. But if I take these guys out, we do win. And all the other things despawn. So that's important. It's important to know. Do I even have anything that does dazed? Or disoriented? No. Okay, and I'm out of rerolls. We'll just do a little extra damage. It's basically extra raw damage, Doom. Doom is like, if you played Risk of Rain, specifically the DLC for the first DLC for Risk of Rain 2. Oof. It's kind of like Implosion, where it goes on their health bar as like a purple thing, and then after 5 seconds it deals its damage. But it stacks in interesting ways. Hey. Okay, almost. It stacks in interesting ways, so it can be useful. I think I read that Burn is the weakest status effect. Nice. Okay, so what's the deal here? What happens now? Well, that run took way too long for these portals to appear. I think you have to be under 12 minutes for them to appear, but I'm not 100% sure. If you are, a red one appears here, and a purple one appears here. Or they could be swapped, but the colors seem to indicate that's right. The red one will take you to, like, the next tier of level, right? It's an overlord mode or whatever. So, you would go to the next level. It would take you to another stage, different resources, and instead of 2 bosses at a time, it would spawn 3 at a time, or maybe 4 in this case. And then if you went through it again, it'd be doubled again. The infinite one is just basically the next stage infinite. So you have some different options there, which are pretty cool. Looks like we leveled up, got a bunch of stuff, got a good number of soul stones here. Let's go back to our menu and take a look at the rune tree. The last one should be 10 purples. Yeah, 10 purples. And then I can start doing these. So anyway, very interesting little game. I'm enjoying it a lot. Again, there's a lot of versatility in the builds. I have nowhere near enough tin for this, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to just keep grinding. Did I reach level 60? What level did I reach? 51? Okay, at 60, I get something here. Let's see. What is this? Increases the chance that active skills of a certain type will be offered to you when you level up. So this also lets you kind of stack the deck in your favor. And so there's a lot of versatility and player choice in this game that I find to be absent from other similar games, and I like it. I think it's really good. I highly recommend it. Again, they didn't sponsor me or anything. I just played it and liked it. It's on the Steam Christmas sale, Steam holiday sale, winter sale, whatever it's called, and it's like a couple bucks off. It's like a $10 game. It's on sale for like $7.50 US dollars. So I like it, and if you liked it, if you found it interesting, if you're curious about the different builds and stuff, I say, hey, pick it up, give it a go, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me your favorite character. Obviously, you can kind of tell who mine is based on the levels here. Yeah, you can kind of tell who mine is. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, as always. And I will see you next time.